and 2 recent passport picture. Carry your application to the Human Resource Manager, G4S Sierra Leone, 6 Spur Road, Freetown, or call 077 640 572.
But when I upline me dey so now?
You no need for worry because G4S Sierra Leone, they all sign at the country. For no more, call 077 640 572. Now for try one time more because training of new security officer them go begin just now.
Suffer from this malaria sick because you still not take the right malaria medicine yet. When you take the Bicotem malaria medicine, anti-malaria drugs, you still suffer from this malaria sick because you still not take the right malaria medicine yet. When you take the Bicotem malaria medicine, anti-malaria drugs, it flush all the malaria parasite in your body. Bicotem malaria treatment, they work fast. As you take Bicotem malaria tablet or the syrup, so you go begin feel better one time. Stop malaria now with the Bicotem tablet and the syrup. We're good for big person, pikin, and even young baby safe. If you want boku for buy and go sell, check na People's Pharmacy with the number 34 Regent Road, Freetown. Bicotem, the anti-malaria treatment for fet malaria and make you get well body.
I can picture this world without you, my life.
The Salon Water Producers Union want to inform the general public and water producer them say they invite all water producers in a Freetown from Kent to Waterloo, Peninsula, Central to other side in the city for meet up na China House by Kiama Road Wednesday, February 4 this year, 2 o'clock sharp. The purpose for this meeting now for look inside different things the world on the Hamburg water production of the country and self talk about thing them what go help for develop the Salon Water Producers Union of the country. So if you know water producer in a Freetown and want for take part in water production decision in the city, make a point of duty for attend this very important meeting so that you self no go left one if I be no.
For news, views, and entertainment, stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1, simply the best. For news, views, and entertainment, stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1, simply the best. For news, views, and entertainment, stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1, simply the best.
Brace up yourself and ready for another sports program. That na Sports Update Extra, where they come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM from Monday to Friday, as you will get detailed discussion and analysis on team them like football,
little chance for a marker now, Sierra Leone with a magnificent equaliser,
cricket, with other sporting discipline them, plus policy statements them.
Having overt conflict that will affect the sport, the legislation gives us the powers to deregister you.
And international sports news, fixture, and results from top league them na Euro. So, for just 45 minutes every day, listen to Sport Update Extra on Radio Democracy 98.1 FM from 10 o'clock morning to 10:45 as you self will get a chance for add your voice to the program. Brace up yourself and ready for another sports program. That na Sport Update Extra, where they come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM from Monday to Friday, as you will get detailed discussion and analysis on team them like football,
little chance for a marker now. Cyrillian with a magnificent equaliser.
Cricket, with other sporting discipline them, plus policy statements them.
Having overt conflict that will affect the sport, the legislation gives us the powers to deregister you.
And international sports news, fixture, and results from top league them na Euro. So, for just 45 minutes every day, listen to Sport Update Extra on Radio Democracy 98.1 FM from 10 o'clock morning to 10:45 as you self will get a chance for add your voice to the program.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of the program Sports Update Extra, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. My name is Jaffa Davis for this edition, and today inside this edition of the program we start for look at the newly appointed Secretary General for the Salon Football Association and in Bakum staff we go support Tampa in work. But then away from that, we go similar focus today on updates from the international scene as we get a lined up of events away for take place from across different disciplines. Them. So not going to side and not forget for use the number 077 981 981. The number again 077 981 981. Or you can go to Radio Democracy Facebook page. Use the comment section for add a voice to the program, ask questions, or be part of the discussion. Same as you can get the same opportunity now. We are the Democracy YouTube page. So continue for still we as today we'll look at the new appointment for the Secretary General position and what's in the happening in the international scene. With this, I get Mohammed Lamin Kebe inside the studio with me. Mohammed, good morning and welcome to this edition of the program.
Good morning, Jaffa, and good morning to this scenario.
Yes, finally, we see the Salon Football Association don't get a position where don't be vacant for a very long time, even though possibly they act there, but then now they don't make an official appointment about who that for be the next Secretary General. How big this one be, particularly where not possible be done the work there?
I feel say it means a lot, Jaffa. Over time, we don't get concerns or issues around, controversy around who should serve as the secretary for the Salon Football Association. Me and you understand the role of secretary now the association, and that they involve paperwork and one or two responsibilities again also where they under the purview of SLFA secretary. As you say, this news broke out yesterday. But the relevance we get, I feel say this the show sign. For me, it's part of effort and commitment from the new president of Abadi Kamara and also the EXCO members. Then, as one of the things that we don't affect the institution, where the FA as an institution, and the fact say many times even before they become president, Abadi Kamara talks say the SLFA understaff. And the need for improve capacity. You know, we're talking only on quantity, but also they watch at competence and quality for ensure say everybody able to get value for money, because at the end of the day they get for pay them for the FA in Kofa. So Jaffa, for me, it's a good news. Jaffa, you see yesterday we don't get Mohamed Ben Sibao, who before now was acting as secretary, but now he has been appointed to as secretary for the institution. But also Jaffa, part of the press release also yesterday also, we also see a new deputy secretary for the SLFA in the person of Ishmael Kanu. I feel say it's a huge one. If you're not a journalist or you're part of football, you don't follow Salon football. Ishmael Kanu, a person we very familiar within those sectors, the media and also football. So for me, it's a light at the end of the tunnel. I only they say when they give you position, whether it's SLFA or not, Jaffa, they never pay you with people money, with taxpayers' money, Jaffa. So I feel it was right for call on them on people and continued. We foresee appointments to come as promised by Babadi Kamara. So at this juncture, we all for ensure all leaders are accountable. So it's going to be good. It's good for using this opportunity and platform we'll get. In as much as we congratulate them, for put also them on the back for ensure say they do the right things. One of the stepping stones for any development, like capacity in Jaffa. And capacity not only limited to quantity, as I don't say, but also forget the quality people will serve in different leadership. I feel it's not only about Babadi. The people who they do the work being now them people they are the foot soldiers of SLFA. The president can get yes, it's very relevant because the boss stops with him, but actually rather they move the boss and fix another appointment and they would only see. And in coming days, by the words of Babadi, we therefore see a lot of other appointments where the reason our position the SLFA for ensure say they will do the work we then create the SLFA for we now for one football administration in the country. So it's a positive outlook. I personally get a relationship with the newly appointed Deputy Secretary General, and personally I know he's going to do well, Jaffa, because he gets an impeccable character. Jaffa, you know Ishmael, you know the wealth of experience we get in terms of football and also relating to media. So for me, Jaffa, disappointments come the right time. Also, I feel now one way people will like football, we want to see football grow. I feel the appointments in there, they are right and also fitting. But the only thing, Jaffa, now the issue of delivery.
Yes, but again, away from the aspect of delivery, where sometimes the FA go argue say they don't put strategy for looking to that one day. Now the issue will lead to the gap will be there will be make the FA not been get a general secretary because the general secretary will be there before this term be suspended and they over suspension for over 2 years or so, and it get salary but not the work. So I think say the FA also need for begin to explain to the public how they will for come about for put solution to this one, because if person they over 2 years they under suspension and no nothing they do, but he still getting salary and things like that, and how they will forget onto this side the money where they be the get for pay the acting general secretary, who side be the come out from and things like that, because all of this like how you talk about taxpayers' money it comes on side and from the people. If you want to be accountable when the appointments come out, all of their explanation and you need for make them available to the public.
Yes, Jaffa. Where I start for talk, I think I be say that day, and also I be tied down with I say it mean to a class and say timely, because we don't get many issues around that position, Jaffa, around who serves or who is the legal person for serve in that capacity as the secretary for the SLFA. So I believe in Babadi. Say he's a unifier. He unites people, and we go out for see how they go pan out, Jaffa. But also I get assurance say Babadi Kamara has done the needful because I do the appointments. He go don't consult with ex-school members them for do their appointment in day, but now do the appointment, Jaffa. So I want to believe say then we don't set to all sides, more especially the issue we get for the former. We still will receive salary at one particular time. That topic will be sport and be very controversial. But I not get a wealth of idea concerning what really don't happen in terms of that saga. For instance, say Benson now we don't have full staff. I mean full secretary now. It was half a secretary because it was acting. But now we don't get that position there. I want to believe say the issue with the FA gets with Chris Kamara when at the then secretary, I feel say for me personally, I think say it has been resolved, and it's good we make that resolve one day because until we do, it will mean say 2 or more people know the see one side. But if we can break even, get peace talk, and this reminds me also Jaffa Davis. Plenty time if you ask scholar, other football scholars, football administrators, one thing we're very clear, including Honorable Siraji Ulis Kamara, don't say there's a need for national conversation, for ensure national conversation on football, where you go put stakeholders together at the table for ensure say for advance football and do the right things. As you agree with me, say we get plenty challenge them for football, but it's only when we are united, or it's only when.
But it's the in-house work from the SLFA.
Yeah, now they say Jaffa, in-house work. I know Dandy, but as they say the implication we Dandy we get, where somebody they claim say that this they claim say this and this. It has to do with all issues. Who does what? Who calls the tune? And also for take leadership position at the right time. Therefore, so I want to believe say this one. Now one way go. Well, pull on from SLFA now. That will generalize now to football. We have Ministry of Sports. We have National Sports Authority. We safely provide leadership for football. Not only to football, but in this context, then safely play role. So I feel that there is a need because you talk about peace. You talk about also waiting at the feet of the former secretary, who we are say they receive salary from FIFA, and now in FIFA recognize. So the national conversation will look into those issues. Will look into who does what. There is also all deficiency, Jaffa, not only in SLFA, as it's were, because I get the confidence that it has been settled, but we also have all issues around sports, Jaffa, Ministry of Sports, clearly all NSA and other body them. I feel say they don't meet up plenty them per whole. So the national conversation on football, or national conversation on sports, maybe we can make them broader. Don't limit it to football. National conversation on sports. I feel it's worth it, and we will use this platform for call on the relevant stakeholder them for ensure say we will get. It could be a retreat, not for be just a one day issue. Put everybody in a room, 1 or 2 or 3 days, for clearly defined roles and responsibility, but not only roles and responsibility, for bringing peace among stakeholders and also for plan for the next 5 or 10 years. How we want to see football talent in the country. How we want to see sports develop in the country. We need to get a plan, Jaffa.
Continue for still to inside the program the Sports Update Extra, and it come to you, I beg your pardon, it come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. The time from the studio clock, 19 minutes gone past the hour, 10 a.m. and away from the local side and the appointment from the SLFA, we will go into the internationals. But then, before we reach in on the issues, particularly on the scoreline of what happened between Chelsea and Arsenal yesterday, the international scene inside the 2020. We start with cricket T20 World Cup 2026. The tournament currently on the way, and 5 associated nation players for watch closely, including the UAE, Netherlands, Nepal, Italy, and USA. FIFA Club World Cup also, like plenty of people will know, was scheduled for take place on the 11th and the 11th of June to the 19th of July 2026, and it will happen in the United States, Canada, Mexico, featuring 48 teams, and go get 104 matches. And away from football, the Winter Olympics in 2026 will take place, and this event will be held in Milano Cortina inside Italy from the 6th of February to the 22nd of February 2026 for making a debut. But then Commonwealth Game for 2026 will happen inside Scotland, and this could be the 23rd edition, where it will happen inside Glasgow in Scotland, and it will start 23rd of July 2026 to the 2nd of August 2026. But away from the Commonwealth Game, Formula 1 also for 2026 go happen this season with new regulation that we go add up inside it, whilst we go get revised power unit configuration from some of the athletes them with Australian Grand Prix, which will kick off inside the 8th of March 2026. Well, that's not some of the events that will happen inside 2026. But before we can look at what happened yesterday and other international top stories them for build up, particularly to the Carling Cup semi-final and waiting for expecting to the finals. They go for this short break. When we come back, we continue the program.
Brace up yourself and ready for another sports program. That na Sports Update Extra, where they come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM from Monday to Friday, as you will get detailed discussion and analysis on team them like football,
little chance for a marker now. Cyrillian with a magnificent equaliser.
Cricket, with other sporting discipline them, plus policy statements them.
Having overt conflict that will affect the sport, the legislation gives us the powers to deregister you.
And international sports news, fixture, and results from top league them na Euro. So, for just 45 minutes every day, listen to Sport Update Extra on Radio Democracy 98.1 FM from 10 o'clock morning to 10:45, as yourself will get a chance for add your voice to the program.
Sports Update Extra, they continue 077-981-981. Now the number you go use, Fumble, the phone line still open. You can call now for make your contribution and add the voice to the different thing they will look at inside this edition of the program. Yesterday we see how some fixtures them don't they carry on inside the international scene. We see the Carling Cup, we see Arsenal being get a 1-0 victory against Chelsea. We make a 4-2 on aggregate for Bucharest Sports to the finals. And also inside the Italian Serie A, we see AC Milan begin for trash Bologna by 3-0. And Saudi Pro League Denmark been get a 0-0 draw with Al Kholoud, and Al Ettifaq been get a 1-0 victory against Al Tawan, whilst Al Khalij being lost to Al Qadsiya inside the Saudi Pro League. But for Copa del Rey for yesterday, Barcelona been beat Albacete by 2-1. Inside the same updates them for today, we get to see a whole lot of very interesting fixtures them. For the AFL Cup, we get to see also Manchester City go play against Newcastle United. That one they have go play in the evening hours. Coppa Italia, we see Inter Milan go engage Torino na Coppa Italia, whilst we get for see Copa del Rey for the Spanish teams. Them we get for see Osai Alves. Deportivo Alaves, they play against Real Sociedad, and also Valencia go play against Athletic Bilbao. A very, very interesting set of fixtures them for today, and I believe the big one, or the most interesting one, are Manchester City versus Newcastle and Inter Milan versus Torino for the Coppa Italia. We see yesterday, first off, we see Arsenal able for Booking Sports to the final. Just after that, they na social media I see how possibly they draw my attention to things them way where Arsenal don't they do. Then they first na the Premier League, then they first na Champions League, then they first na Champions League at the moment, because still, well, they not play the playoff yet, so then they first.
The playoff only part of the.
Well, going forward, they come first and they move on, and then they now in a very good footing at the SLFA, and also Carling Cup and Booking Sports. Possibly the travel show say, be not also Arsenal in day before, so they still sit down and get good footing on all of this competition. But yesterday performance, the one way really describe how tough Arsenal really they. Particularly, and how intentional they be for one forget trophy this season.
Yes, Jaffa. I feel so when it comes to issue around Arsenal and Manchester United for international. Me and you contend for the basketball because you know I'm a Manchester United fan and me and Arsenal. But yes, even overseas, people like pundits them and football analysts them, they can do analysis. Even with teams that we don't even play for, we don't see them often. But coming to look at Arsenal, Jeff, I don't support Arsenal for quite 17 or 18 years now. Religiously, for say being a fan, I don't follow Arsenal, I watch all their games there. Most of the games, religiously. This Arsenal are very different, and I feel say fortunate for the fans them of Arsenal. Right now, they get joy, including me. But also, you go out for say the competition is not on it. But no more at this time, we're inside February now. Arsenal, then they find the FA Cup. They did very well in their first game. And also, Carling Cup, what they call Carabao Cup. We see yesterday. After them, we don't beat Chelsea 3-2 inside Chelsea Stadium, the Stamford Bridge. We see yesterday, Chelsea were overturned that result day. But Arsenal end up for beat the game also by 1-0. And also in aggregate, Arsenal qualify with 4 goals and Chelsea being also to score 2 goals. But Jaffa, I tell you, for Chelsea fans, I feel say it's a positive. They even though they lost, but they get some positive around the match yesterday, because the Chelsea I see. Remember, I said Arsenal the current champion. The old Arsenal old bar money they get a handicap. The old teams and senior teams in the Champions League, the handicap they give them. So for let Chelsea put up a show like that one day, it's very promising. Although one for say, there is also another issue of consistency. How long can they be producing those results, and how long then will they for produce then kind of stellar performance than they all see yesterday. Not only yesterday, even against the same team Chelsea, against Arsenal, we see where Chelsea gets a red card. They're able to maintain and steals, and that game they become 1-1. Japan. So it's a positive thing for Chelsea also. In as much as Arsenal then step don't book their way to the final. I think that they do well. Another very important one for the battle for supremacy at the English Premier League as they first. And Man City, they're not corner. They serve as watching though.
So,
but Man City,
they play today against Newcastle. We don't see Newcastle inside the Premier League being get 2-0 victory against Manchester City, and we see how Manchester City play against Tottenham over the weekend. Then we get 2-0 victory against Tottenham in the first half, and then in the second half, then throw away all of that victory there. Does this result with Tottenham bring a sigh of hope, say, Newcastle, for be determined for Gideon all? Anything can happen and can get a result for go back to the finals?
Yes, everything is possible. Even 3-goal margin
against Man City.
Anything is possible. You're talking about the optimism for Newcastle for ensure say they do a comeback because they don't suffer defeat from Man City in the first leg by 2-0. Yes, 2-0 was the score. But like I say, anything possible, and 2-goal not to a great margin. More especially for a 90 minute match. Now, if they score one per year, I'm not saying Newcastle will score for Man City, but even if a Man City for on the other hand, and for them to get one game goal, the whole game don't change, and we get plenty of time. We get first half. People they score 3 or 4 goals now. It's 80 minutes. More especially referring to Manchester United, and also we see Arsenal yesterday late. For me, this year competition, the whole competition, whether English Premier League, I don't think I've ever seen players scoring at the 11th hour of games, which any other team. You don't say they watch football, but the number of goals they already get, where they come from 90 plus minutes, Jaffa, I feel say is very huge. Jaffa, that is just a quick aside. But for the Manchester City and Newcastle, the only thing where Manchester City will bank on, not only get for do with the 2-0 or the 2 goals they don't secure in this return leg, but also for say they play Newcastle inside Etihad, Jaffa. So I feel like a big booster for them. But Newcastle United, then first game with Manchester City and the league, I stand to be corrected, but they will defeat Manchester City by a 2-goal margin. By a 2-goal margin. So I feel say there is opportunity. They can do it. They have a tendency for doing. More especially also Jaffa, when Manchester City, you can agree with me, say no they in the best of form. City they struggle. City by then 10 now, they hardly lose a game. For the previous years they always see, except for Champions League or anything. But more when it comes to England, they hardly lose a game at that particular time there.
Even now we don't get more quality players.
Yes, but they face a lot of issue, Jaffa, in terms of who plays where and who does not. I think that's the issue and the way.
But I get a very experienced manager, because
very experienced.
Almost all of the recent times away, then they get players away, then they sign. Now these players then they can build up with the team.
Yeah.
Players they can build up from waiting the development of the team. But now they bring ready-made players, and way they say one and get experience to them, they bring quality in this team, but nothing other than gelling properly. Like what you expect from the Man City,
Well, Man City,
they not only play most of that kind, except when they play against team who not too experienced or who not too big team, and then they hold the ball and play dominating football. Now they score 1 goal, Man City they run for go sit down behind for defend, and it is unlike them. You see, anybody now can just take a chance and just be confident on the ball and beat Man City without no extra work.
Obviously, for big teams, the issue around now, also they don't really give the challenge for them to draw points as big team is that the impact is very huge, Jaffa, because small teams they develop and get confidence for play. We don't see them many a times. We can see Liverpool or Manchester United, they lose consistently or they draw consistently. Sometimes not because of the performance, but sometimes the results and the way they get. Now because teams them don't get confidence, but we will get confidence by you. Even faith safe, we man develop for you. It will go a long way than they not develop. The smaller teams they get this feeling, they get this nostalgia. Say we can do it. The City will know now and not in the best of form. Otherwise, if City in their form, now I died. You are a small team with no mean for disrepute them, Jaffa. If you are a small team, Jaffa, you play Manchester City. Manchester City are one of the best clubs, if not the best, for last season or for the past 3 or 4 seasons. For me, I would say they are the best club in Europe, Jaffa.
Okay, continue for still 2 inside the program.
But Newcastle get a chance.
Yes, so we'd expect for Sidane could get 90 minutes to see how things go happen. Mohamed Lamin Kebe, we'll come back to you. We don't be joined by Alfred Jana. Alfred, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Jaffa. Good morning, listeners and viewers.
Yes, take you through what's in the for we inside the latest at international scene.
Yes, Jaffa, we'll get plenty of updates in the international scene. We'll first and foremost start with football. We don't say the former snooker player and broadcaster John Vigo don't die at the age of 79 years. Alex Jimenez will be Bournemouth player on permanent deal this week. Dayot Upamecano will formally sign soon in a new deal na Bayern Munich. And now inside rugby, Lewis Martin don't sign 5-year deal contract na Hull City. F1 race, Williams don't reveal in FW48 car livery ready for the F1 2026. Toto Wolff don't blast in F1 rivals for weighing points in finger na the legality of Mercedes new engine. And yesterday we saw Arsenal, of course, don't qualify, where them beat Chelsea on an aggregate of 4-2. And we see Kai Havertz, the former Chelsea player, get for score the late goal. We make Arsenal qualify straight for the EFL final. We will be, of course, for play 22nd of March inside Wembley. Now this one are the updates we'll get for now, and continue after now.
Okay, but then Mohamed Lamin Kebe, I bring you come inside again. If you put your money on any of the two sides for the next semi-final, Man City, Newcastle.
Definitely, Man City gets not edge. Even when Man City reduce in terms of the performance, we will only get. Know them.
It's not about whether they qualify for the day.
Or for the day?
Yeah, the game.
Well, I think it's going to be a 50-50 for the day because Newcastle will be in high speed. Manchester City, they have the tendency to be complacent because they get 2-goal margin. Although I don't want to agree with me on that opinion, but also it's issue of might. They might be complacent because of the 2 goals, and Newcastle then will be reinvigorated for ensure they will for secure them 2 goals. And but particularly for today, leaving out the first result, I feel it's going to be a 50-50. It's 50 for Manchester City because now they're going to go play. And inside Etihad, they have home advantage, or they will have home advantage because they will have a lot of fans who will spot it up and what have you. But for the visiting team and Newcastle, Jaffa, I feel they can do it also. They get 50% chance for win the game today because they are trailing by 2-0. So it is just but right for I think they can take the game at Manchester City, and because Newcastle they play very well, not only in terms of results, they play very well, and the Manchester City will sabi, not even will sabi. If now inside Newcastle we can play this second leg now, I don't say 60-40. But because of Manchester City, they are still Manchester City. Now just smaller more. Then still the Champions League. Then they said the first 8 Champions League. Jaffa, Carling Cup, we are in the place today. They are almost to the final. I don't know for FA Cup because I'm not a staunch fan of Manchester City. I don't know if they don't qualify, if they're part of FA Cup now or they have been exited. But also for the English Premier League and the second. So even though we say they are not 100% as how they were, but does not mean the Manchester City on the brink of collapse or for say their performance. You cannot describe their performance as awful. You only describe their performance not meeting their own standard, the standard them set for themselves with Pep Guardiola. What I once said this, Jaffa, before you hang up with me, the issue of Manchester City and system. I feel one of the things that really get Manchester City in this one, for me, it's not a mess. I feel the challenge they face. Manchester City coach Pep Guardiola, where he don't deal with team 3 or 4 seasons, he clear forecast, new idea, refresh and recalibrate. I feel that the process of recalibration is done, and when you recalibrate, many issues will come to play. I feel he's battling with those issues, but also there is also an issue of whether he ever coach the team for the next years to come. But that is developing.
And then a question we'll go wait for Leo, see how all things they unfold. Mohamed Lamin Kebe, don't be very, very interested with you. Plenty, thank you for being part of this edition. And also, plenty, thank you to our listeners and viewers. And plenty, thank you again to Alfred Jana for the update in the international scene. My producer, Musa Kamara, me will bring content on this edition. My name is Jafferman Davis. And me technical posting on duty, DJ Schoolface. Me gonna get to live from a different radio sets them. Whilst Mary Kamara Bangoa, me gonna see we live both on Facebook and on YouTube. So till the next edition, have a nice day. Goodbye for now.